Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you how to build a balcony rail when you have a laminate floating floor system. Stay tuned. Alright, so if you've watched any of my videos on my channel on railing systems and newel post installation, you'll know that quite often I will use a Zipbolt Super UT. It's a rod that goes into the floor like I have on this post here. To secure the post to the floor, and that remains the same no matter what kind of flooring system you're doing. Now, in this case where you're going into a hardwood floor with your newel post, your rod, and you're attaching your shoe directly onto the floor to take your balusters like so, then there's no issue with expansion. There is some expansion and contraction with a hardwood floor, but nothing like a laminate floor. But in the case of a laminate floor, even if the floor was already installed and you went and put a post on top of it with a rod into the floor with using a Zipbolt or whatever product, you're now defeating the ability for the floor to expand and contract. And I've been in a number of homes where someone has secured the laminate floor to the floor with a fastener of some kind, and the floor has indeed either buckled or separated on the joints. So you can't do that. So a very common problem is, how do I go about adding these two elements together, a solid post and a solid railing system with a floating floor? So I'm going to walk you through the process here. So what you're going to do, you're going to start with making a recess or rabbet cut in the bottom of your post. Now, if your post happens to go right into the floor structure, then you still add that little rabbet so that the floating floor can fit underneath that. So what I generally do, I take my flooring and I make sure it'll slide underneath that post on the rabbet, or the dado, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's got a different name. And make sure you have a little wiggle room as well. Don't make it super tight, because there may be a inconsistency in your floor, and subsequently you're going to have a binding between the laminate and the newel post. So that is the first step. You're going to figure out what kind of recess that you need to make in your newel post. All right, just to clarify, I'm going to make the height of this rabbet equal to the thickness of the laminate. But in this direction, in other words, the depth of that rabbet, I like to keep to about 1/4 of an inch. The simplest method I've found for making this notch at the bottom of the post is by using a cordless router and a template bit of some kind. Even a hinge mortising bit will do the job, with just some kind of a plywood guide that you can clamp onto the post, and that works fine. You could potentially make a saw cut really carefully across the grain, and then use a chisel this way to knock that little portion of post out. But I've found that the router is sort of the simplest, quickest way to do it. It makes a really nice, neat job too. Now, while I'm talking about newel posts, I will mention that depending on what kind of balcony rail you're doing, maybe it's an outside corner or an inside corner, you may need to have a recess on 1, 2, or 3 sides of the post. In the case of an end post, if this was an end post and there was going to be flooring on all 3 sides, then I'd have to make that dado on all 3 sides. Generally though, you're along the edge of a balcony, you're just going to need the one side done. So normally if I'm doing a balcony rail, and as you probably figured out by now that this is my little model of a floor joist system with construction plywood on top, then generally what I would do is I would have my newel post installed onto the floor itself, the finished floor. Then I would have a nosing installed like this, and then the shoe would be installed on top of the nosing with the balusters. Now, A lot of times in a home that's already been built, there's drywall or something on the edge of the floor joist system on the stairwell. And if it's drywall, then I would just use a piece of trim like so, and then finish that off. Or if you're going to finish it yourself, you may do up some plywood like this and stain it up and attach it to the edge of the flooring. Now, moving along to how you're going to do the laminate system, you're going to install your post into the floor with the rebate for the laminate floor on the bottom of the post. Then you're going to take a piece of sheet goods, whether it be MDF or plywood, and just make sure that it is the same depth as that recess and a little bit thicker than your laminate floor. And you're going to fasten that onto the edge of your balcony like so. Then you'll have two things. You'll have room for the laminate to slide under the post, and it's important to leave a little space here between this piece of plywood and the edge of the laminate. So again, you're not binding that laminate. Then you're going to add your nosing, which is going to protrude over the edge of your balcony, like we talked about. And after that, your shoe that's going to receive the balusters. So that, in a nutshell, is exactly how you're going to achieve this whole feat of installing a balcony rail onto a floor system with a laminate floor that needs to have the ability to expand and contract. And this will give you a little space here, but it really won't be noticeable. That is probably a millimeter, and that is just not an issue whatsoever. Now, occasionally you're going to run into a situation where there is a laminate floor already installed right up to the edge of the stairwell. So, and it may be impractical to actually remove all the flooring. I've run into that before where I'd have to remove a whole bunch of laminate down the hallway, into a living room, everything else. So what I did is opted for cutting the laminate very carefully with the track saw. So presuming that your post is going to go on the edge of the balcony, which is on this side, I would mask off that area really carefully. Then I'm going to place my post onto the masking tape and mark a 1/2 inch back from the laminate side of the post. I'm going to mark that out carefully from one end of the balcony to the other. I'll draw a line and cut that portion of the laminate out. Install my post and my filler strip. I'm going to have plenty of room for expansion here between the filler strip and the laminate. And if you like, you can notch this laminate back a little bit more with a multi-tool so that you have, closer to a 1/4 inch rebate for movement. Now, you could make this rebate in the post deeper, say 3/8 of an inch, but I'm always wary of taking too much off the bottom of the post and compromising my strength of the post to the floor. So that is the process I use for cutting laminate away from an existing floor at the edge of a balcony. Now, if this is a situation where you're going from a newel post to a 1/2 newel that's against the wall, I simply put the 1/2 newel right on top because it doesn't need to be fastened to the floor structure, just to the wall. And then my nosing piece, even with a round over, is going to go flush on the inside, and it's going to hang over the balcony. And then what you would do is mark this nosing so you can continue that nosing over to the wall here and just notch it around the 1/2 newel. And now when you go to finish your balcony, you're just going to slide your finished material up to the bottom of the nosing, fasten it with fasteners that are going to be covered by the trim, and the trim will go underneath the nosing and leave a nice finish with maybe a 3/4 of an inch or an inch of reveal underneath the edge of the nosing. Now the next thing I want to mention is that you're going to have to do something with this portion of the nosing in front of the post. So if this was an outside corner on a balcony, maybe there's a stairwell here, then you'd have to shoot this nosing past the post, miter it over here so that it can return in that direction. Now if this was an inside corner on a balcony with the post on the corner and there was more floor structure here, then you would be adding a piece of nosing like so and mitering between these 2 points here on both pieces of nosing to make a nice neat job. And perhaps what I'll do is make a separate video on that whole process as it is a little bit convoluted and complicated. Now as an aside, if you don't like the looks of stacking a shoe on top of a nosing at the edge of a balcony, you could simply mortise into your shoe or use a 7/16 dowel in the case of a 1/2 inch metal baluster and place your balusters right into the nosing if you like that look, the more simplistic look. And I have videos on both those processes. If you're using a different type of baluster, then you may have to go with a proper shoe with a fillet and then 1.25 inch baluster, but just wanted to point those options out. So I hope that video was helpful. Please leave any questions or comments in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with other carpenters, and help support this channel. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.